As part of the mandate of the Soufrière Foundation to preserve and enhance the attraction sites in Soufrière, two garbage bins were placed at the waterfront to accommodate small garbage disposals such as paper plates, plastic cups, bottles, and wrappers. The public is advised that there should be no disposal of household or commercial waste. The waterfront area does not contain a public disposal site. Offenders will be prosecuted.
Losing a loved one is hard. It can be heartbreaking not being able to pay your final respect. Let us help. Have you considered live streaming? Livestream 758 can help bring the funeral to you in the comfort of your home. Call or WhatsApp us today at 758 519 9279. All streams will be broadcast on Facebook and YouTube. Watch on your phone, computer, or television. Livestream 758, here when you can't be.
Do you have some old appliances at home? Are you thinking of throwing them away? Then stop. Think for a moment. Visit the repair and service shop located at Winsville in Soufrière, where they specialize in repairing and servicing small appliances. Yes, we do it all. Toasters and toaster ovens, oil fryers, microwave ovens, small ovens, curling irons, flat irons, blow dryers, blenders, cake mixers, pressing irons, radios, fans and also radiator fans, and lots more. For more information, give us a call at 720-0199 or WhatsApp on telephone number 486-2920. We also do pickups at selected locations. The repair and service shop located at Winsville in Soufrière. They do it all.
Welcome to Youth Voices with your host, Miss Edisa Eugene, where we focus on youth advocacy, youth empowerment in academics, entrepreneurship, sports, marginalized youth, and more. Tune in every Thursday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Youth Month 2022. Devant ensemble et toute jeunesse. Evolve. Growing youth for an inclusive and transformed society. Are you ready?
When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. When I look at where I'm coming from, I know I'm blessed, and I close my eyes and smile. Sometimes I feel like the richest man in Babylon, and I've done my best, so everything's alright inside. Every morning, I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing, so when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to this, I'm blessed, oh man. With my two hands in the air as far as I can. Yeah. As far as I can. I can, yeah. My two hands in the air as far as I can.
Of course, welcome back to You Voices. I am your host, Mr. Edisa Eugene. Just here with another episode of our exciting show for us young persons, Youth Voices. And of course, this show has been going for quite some time now, so we already know what time it is. And in studio with me today, we have an awesome young lady who is very much well known in our community, or Soufrière. known as Miss Ferrya Simon. And today she is in the person of the president of the Fort St. Jacques Youth and Sports Club. And of course, we want to welcome you in studio this afternoon, Miss Simon.
Good day, everyone. Thank you very much, Miss Eugene. Thanks for the opportunity. Hi.
Okay, and of course, if to those of you viewing us online, you could tell that she looks a little nervous, but I can guarantee her that throughout this interview, she will be fine. You will be awesome, of course, because this afternoon we're basically just going to be focusing on her club, really. I'm pretty sure not everyone is aware that Forte Jacques has a youth and sports club. So today you will be learning a little more about this club, also what is required of her as the president of that club, and her views on different aspects of youth development in our community. So of course, Miss Simon, again, thank you so much for taking some time out to join us this afternoon. And I can assure you that you will definitely be having a great time and great discussion with us today. And to you, our listeners, and to you viewing us online, I want to tell you a special good afternoon and welcome back to another episode. I'm hoping that this afternoon you too are prepared with your questions. Feel free to send them via the chat. We are monitoring the chat, so feel free to send them in the chat room, and then, of course, we can respond to you. So we're diving right into our discussion with you this afternoon, Miss Simon. Um, Mind going ahead and just telling the persons who really is Ferrya Simon.
Hi, good day again. Thank you for the opportunity again, Miss Eugene. Ferrya Simon. In a nutshell, first of all, I am a child of God, born for greatness. I have been both into volunteerism for years because many of my family members have been volunteering all their life. My mom is a teacher. My grand aunt, Miss Claudette Prosper, was a health aide in the community. Great legends of volunteerism like Dominic Prosper and Sandra Prosper are my cousins. And my father just is a volunteer on his own. So this has been me. My passion is really youth development and sports and community development. It started off by being pushed, more like forced, but I say pushed into youth groups and leading them. And I can remember being the one of the youngest at many groups, at many different groups in the community. And then at that moment, they'll always pick on you, to speak up, give presentations, anything that had to do with leading the group or leading a presentation, they would always say Ferrier. I've also been encouraged actually to be the president of the Catholic youth group and many groups. If I have to start now, it won't end. But yes, that's me in a nutshell. I also love math and accounts. Right now, I'm employed with the Fosse Jacques Credit Union. And yes, it's a lovely experience. Save today for a better tomorrow, please. Um, yeah, Ferrya Simon in a nutshell.
Okay, nice. So we see you have a balance of you being a community activist. I can say that as well as a youth activist because you've been involved, and I know a lot of persons are aware that you have been involved in your community, and knowing too that you are balancing your spiritual life. You mentioned that from the start. Kudos to you, and also your work. With all of this, of course, we can see behind this is a very intelligent young lady who has a lot going on for her. And of course, Feria, it is very nice, and I want to let you know that you should continue to do what you do. Just focus and yeah, do it with your passion.
Thank you.
And of course, knowing that you have been involved for so many years, how has this experience been so far?
I will not, let me see, I will not paint a bright picture of it. It's
Yeah.
been a rough road, especially when, like I said, starting off as one of the youngest person, sorry, as the youngest individual in some groups. When you have to speak out on certain issues, you feel some people, like, trying to push you back and telling you you don't know what you're about because of your age, and you don't have the experience because of age.
Right.
And I'm someone who loves to speak out on different issues. It's not stepping on anyone's foot, but I mean, there was always a room for discussion, and being the devil's advocate has its advantages. It has dialogues going. So yes, um, wow, the experience is a great one. I was never able to speak, even if behind this whole social media, I was never able to be doing this today, even if I seem nervous. Thanks for pointing that out. However, always you always have to try things that are uncomfortable.
Right.
To create change, whenever change has to come about, you have to come out of your comfort zone. And I've tried this many times, even if I have failed in the eyes of many or myself, because your greatest obstacle is yourself.
Right.
So even if I've failed in my eyes, sometimes I still go. Keep going because, like I said, that's my passion, and it's to inspire too. We're going back to the biblical sense of it. If you look at leadership, is to serve, and if you believe in God, believe me, He'll get you through all of it. So even then, when I fail, I would always get up. People will tell me, "Girl, get up." Today, a young individual who I look up to her, she looks up to me, told me, "My girl, it's time for you to take up space." And I believe that as a young person, we need to take up space. We need to speak out on issues.
Right.
And I'm encouraging people, though I was not all that willing to come on the show today, but because of my lovely host, which will not take no for an answer, I did. And I'm taking this opportunity to encourage young persons to speak up. It is never it's never stupid to say something. It's never like it's your point is always valid.
Right.
And even if you go about doing it or saying it the wrong way, eventually when you get molded, it is going to get easier for you. So and you can attest to that because you too are youth leader.
Yeah.
So for me, the journey has been a rocky one, a very fulfilling one, because the reward for me is not my name being up there saying Ferrya Simon this, but the reward is to see the young persons go forward.
Right.
I started off sports, and sports was my passion. Sport is my love. Oh my goodness. If sports was a person, huh? Sports, that was my escape. I started playing netball. Started at St. Joseph's Convent, playing netball for both junior and senior, and in the community too. And unfortunately, at the age of 21, even if I'm still 21, I even if I'm still 21, I was told that I cannot play sports because of certain injuries that I have. And at that moment, that dampened my spirit. However, if you cannot play, then you coach it. And I'm encouraging anyone who is involved in sport and can no longer, or they call it retirement. If you cannot play, then you encourage people or you coach. So yeah, I have done that thus far, and it's a lovely experience seeing persons like Romy Alexander, Cassian Jabatis, Dalius Monroes, Edisa Eugene, Shanasha Prevo, all these people go forward. Not that I contributed to all of them, but just seeing people, the young persons moving forward. That's what I love. I love to see progress, and even if it's not my progress, it's always good progress for the community. Yeah. Sorry, it's always good. It's always good progress that that's for the community, because you find that if we don't have opportunities, or if we don't make opportunities for the young person, then they move out. They go out of the community and they come back. And even if they go to have, well, the mindset of coming back, it looks small to them, because if they leave St. Lucia and they get a football scholarship, big up Zachary Simon right now, and Jade Noble. I mean,
I want to point out, as you and she's calling out the names. Mind you, all of these names are straight out of Forte Jacques. Now, last week I started this week with Sasha, straight out of Forte Jacques, because Forte Jacques apparently has so many talented persons, And to me, it goes unnoticed. Yeah.
Yes.
So straight out of what is
Yeah,
that?
they are. Even you right now, we have a while about competition, and whilst going through these activities, you get to learn persons like Jude Clement, and all these people who
Right.
used to play in the long run, like long time ago in dinosaur ages. Though I'm not saying dinosaur ages, but the very long time before my time, before my existence. And then you get to know that your community is and always is the best.
Yeah.
And then I see the best. I don't That's my humble opinion. They are the best. And then you get to see all the talent, and then you wonder like what is really the what's really wrong.
Right.
Like, and then you get feedback from people, oh, like I was there before, and then because of preference and red tape
No,
and all of that.
that is the
And believe
problem.
me, part of it is you go there and you see it. But I always say that an educated community, an educated nation, it thrives on like it literally contributes to progress. And then I actually volunteered to go there, go to different workshops, all in Castries, everywhere, to just get the information to see really and truly does it really exist that is because of biasness that we don't go forward.
Yeah.
And if so, then how can we community people, how can I make a difference and change it and have those individuals who have been discouraged to go for their to fulfill their dreams of sportsmen and sportswomen, or even a painter or whatever they may be. What's the
Yeah.
problem? And then I'm like, okay, you know what? If we cannot go through the different organizations, the different ladders that you have to climb up normally in St. Lucia, like getting to the national team, then why don't we build ourselves in the community?
Right.
Why don't we work on ourselves in the community? Because the same contacts that they can get through networking and speaking continuously, even if it takes 20 years for me to be heard. I mean, Rosa Parks did it. All these people did it. I can too.
Yeah.
And to continue just to do it so then they can see their talents. Because it took actually some persons to actually get me where I am right now. So I can do the same for others. Yes. That's enough from me right now.
Okay, thank you. But
Yeah.
it's good though. You are giving us exactly what we want to hear. And it's nice that you're not painting that bright picture like, being part of this whole youth development movement is just a bed of roses. It's way more than that. And you will get obstacles. And talking from my own um standpoint too, being involved, I know what some of these hurdles are. And you mentioning that persons would even say to you, I was there before, and that is the way it is supposed to be. But I think not only in our community, but in our communities, persons don't understand that there is something called growth, right? There is something called growth. And so you cannot just remain the same way. And in as much as, yeah, it was done that way in the past, we are in a whole new generation. So the
Yes.
setting needs to change, the whole vibe needs to change in order for you to know how to move forward. And I'm happy that you were able to just let our listeners and our viewers know that it is not a bed of roses. And definitely it is actually stressful most of the time. 98% of the time it is, and it is volunteerism.
It
Straight.
is. It
You
is.
don't get paid for it.
You don't.
And that is where a lot of persons too don't get the point. They don't get the point that, hey, we are actually trying to do this wholeheartedly. The most you could do is try to support the movement.
And that is the thing. But let me tell you, in Foster Jack, you get the support.
Now,
You
bigger,
get the support, meaning that you can. Let me tell you. Sorry for saying let me tell you how many times, but I am so passionate. Let me tell you. So it's like many years I've been going, for example, many years I've been going to football. Jacques United, oh my goodness, these people are great. You can see it. And then we would lose, but then yet still you still see our support in the stands, and you cannot
That is
deny
true.
that.
That is
You
true.
cannot deny that the support in the stands they're great. When we do our road race, which we always win, I mean, we seeing our people coming out, they coming together. Despite the differences, they always come out and they always come to, even if they don't like you,
Yeah.
they will come and support. And you would go to them and say, come and support your child, because it takes just the support. It doesn't have to be financial, but just the support. And I can attest to so many people that just me telling them, you can do it. Come on, push yourself. Mia Pizza is a perfect example. And
Yeah.
congratulations, we are the winners of the Club Cook-Off for Super Infant Sports Council, which was
Yes,
held a few
yes.
Sundays ago. And she was actually our participant. Sorry. She was and Mr. Simon Kade.
Yeah.
And believe me, she is, when you look at her, very simple, very humble
Right.
individual. She loves netball, has represented on a national scale. Vern Alexander too, Lorena Nicholas too. You have even persons who, even if they don't haven't made it to nationals, but they went to try out. You have Rhiannon Clement. You have so many. Annie Simon, my
Yeah.
sister. You have so many of the individuals, and those I forget. I cannot. If I give a list, will not come out of it
Yes.
today. Yes. But yes, like you say, it's free. But the reward really and truly is just seeing the progress.
Yes. And that
Seeing the
is true.
progress.
And of course, that is why, too, as a community, I want us to just take some time and encourage, really try to just be a support system
Yes.
to one another. Because if we just do that, that little support that you give could actually contribute to the success of something being done in order to ensure that our community is on a better scale. So, to those of you who are unable to maybe it's not your thing to be part of the whole youth movement and whatnot. And of course, some might debate and say that the youthful age ends at 45. To me, it doesn't really. If you have that youthful spirit, to me, you're still part of the youth movement. So you can at least try your best just by.
Be an advisor.
Yeah, be an advisor.
You can be an advisor.
And you are part of the movement,
Yes,
basically,
indeed.
just ensuring that everything goes well. And again, Ferrya, thank you so much for just painting it out that this is not a bed of roses.
It is not a bed of roses. It takes sacrifice and so much sleepless nights. You literally, my mom can tell you, or my family members can tell you. My friends be like, you always busy. You always have this to do. But I'm keeping myself occupied. Like, because if you don't take your time to do it, who will?
Yes.
And the thing is, it's also encouraging people to do it too. You cannot do all
Yes.
because you'll burn out, but encouraging people and you also making them take part in the different workshops that will develop themselves to actually stand up and say, okay, I am going to do this. I'm going to make a difference. I'm going to make change. Change begins with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yes. Okay. So now that we have established all of this, and this is definitely some hard work, but we all in Sufre, if there is one thing I could testify, that everyone involved in this whole youth and sports movement, I want to put sports because sometimes we only say youth and sports movement, I realize that everyone is doing it with a passion. With a passion could be broken down for me in two different ways. Huh?
Yes,
You're
indeed.
doing it because you really love it, and you're doing it because you love your community as well, and you see how it benefits you. So you're not really doing it for tokenism, like it's a me thing.
Yeah.
While there are some doing it with a passion for tokenism,
Yes, indeed.
and we have both in our community.
We
Straight,
do.
straight.
It's everywhere.
It's facts, and we know that. However, it doesn't matter. Everybody is doing it. So at
Once
least
ever
the
it
work
get
is
done, exactly.
getting done.
Yes,
So
indeed.
that is all that matters. So going back to your club, Ferrya, of course, as I mentioned earlier, many persons are not even aware that Fort Jacques has a youth and sports club, and that you're actually functioning.
Yes,
I
we
know
are.
right now you guys have so much going on, right? Even the Walaba tournament that is going on right now is being run by the Fort Jacques Youth and Sports Club with the support of the Enchasney, Jade Mountain, and the Sufa Youth and Sports Club.
Yes. Indeed.
Right. And before we get into the nitty gritty and details of the Walaba, just give us a little idea as to why this idea of the Walaba came about.
Okay, the idea of the the idea of the Walaba, sorry, came about. We were approached by the sponsor. Actually, I'll say Kiefer Prosper. Well, yeah,
In
It's
collaboration
in collaboration with
Yes.
Enchasney Mountain and Super Youth and Sports Club Council. Sorry, because he is actually one of the trustees.
Yes.
To host the Walaba competition. And we were like, because of the love we have for sports, like I mentioned before, we said, okay, no problem, we can take it up. And the whole idea came about just to, during that time, we had a lot of crime. We had a high rate of crime, not a high rate, but I can see it was very rampant in Sufre.
Yeah.
And the sponsor wanted to have an activity or a series of activities in Sufre, within the Sufre Basin, to just try to curb crime.
Yes.
And Walaba was one of the first tournaments that he's going to have. Well, the sponsor is going to have, yes.
Yes.
And we said yes, and we started organizing at a meeting, and it just took off ground from there. from there. Yeah.
Yes, and that is very good. Of course, it shows, and I want to big up the sponsors, the Enchantment Jade Mountain. Of course, it is nice that they are always ready to help out in the community, and this is some persons I believe who deserve the roses while
They
they are
deserve the
alive.
credit. Yes, they
Yes,
do.
they deserve it while they are alive, and that is why, of course, a big shout out and big up to Chastney Jade Mountain. And even to all of you working there, I mean, even your support is good. You should be proud that you're working there because, I mean, top sponsors in Sufre.
Yes, yes.
But it is nice to see that they are always willing to contribute, and it is nice that you guys took up the mantle to ensure that this would actually work out for our communities. So far, I have been one of those coming to the games, and I could say that I am very much satisfied with the turnout. And even when you mentioned a while ago about the Force Jack persons, no matter what, whether they like you or not, they support. That is factual.
Yes, very true.
That is factual. I am not a member of your club, and I remember when the guys were playing, I was around, and they were just so nice. You know, you would swear I was from Fort St. Jacques, but they were just so welcoming. And at this time, I just want to big up Benita Philip, right? She's one of those I believe who always supports Fort St. Jacques no matter what.
Every
This young
single
lady,
time.
this young lady, I really want to point out because at cricket, right? Of course, we all know my club is part of it. I won't say who my club is, but we know my club is part of this. And
Just
so,
letting you all know, Black Panthers.
but
Yes.
you know, and I think it was Black Panthers was playing with one of her teams at the time.
Probably bigger boys.
No, it wasn't Bigger Boys
Really?
yet. It wasn't
Okay.
Bigger Boys yet. And then this girl, I was making noise, and then she came. She's like, "Hello, what for Jacques?" And then I was like, "You're rude." But then right there to me, we connected because it showed that in as much as I am not a member of even the area, I don't live in Fort Jacques. I came just for the game. She was just building up that vibe, and that is something about Fort Jacques. Give them that. They always build a positive vibe through it all. So again, I am very happy that this activity is just going so well, and I know you all have a semi-final again coming up.
Yes, we do. We actually continue, and hopefully, if the weather keeps up, because for some reason during the week, no rain. As soon as the weekend hits, rain, and you
Yes.
know you cannot play Walaba in rain, and
Yeah.
we're really trying to. People, every time I have to postpone on a flyer, oh my goodness, people are like, "Oh, when the rain, they seen sun." I'm like, people, you not
Yeah,
we
but the
see
condition of the
condition
field-
is not, you cannot play on it, and
Yeah.
I feeling bad because I'm like, oh my goodness, okay, another Sunday where people will be like at me, why did you postpone? Oh, my short pants out already because it's bigger boys and Lahuan and Black Panthers and Belvedere and people coming out in large numbers, and they just love the whole vibe because it's been a while. Looking at COVID, it's been a while since people actually have an opportunity to go and support, to see sports happening, even if they had a little cockfight during COVID.
Yeah.
Yes, and all of that. But then, you know, just keep it going. Like they would just love something, an activity to be happening every Sunday. It can be a youth activity, it can be a grown people activity, it can be any type of activity. They just
Right.
love it. They love that kind of that energy. They love it. They come, oh, nakite kaimwe pou vini doors dimanche ek what I postpone. A lady told me that on Sunday. I'm like, we boji. I'm like, but then Sunday past we did have a netball. Let me just take the opportunity to congratulate Verna Alexander. She is the coach for Jacques, I think, Soufre and some other community. She's also a national player. And Itangs, yes. And she's also a national player. She's represented St. Lucia so many times. And she had this camp. We actually had 3 teams from Jacques, and Ravens did win. Big up Calicia. Bella, she was actually the leader for bees, yellow bees or bumblebees. She'll take my neck for the wrong name. But yes, it was a bees, yes. And also we had I cannot remember the last. I was literally trying to get the names, but they were ravens, bumblebees, or yellow bees, and the other group. Sorry, Vern for
We know
but yes.
they are bees.
They are bees.
Yes.
Yes, and Alvon is always there, even
Yes.
if Yes, Alvon is always there for football. He's always there. It was just a great thing to
Big
see
up Albon,
netball.
eh?
Yes, to see netball back in Force Jacques and yeah, back in Soufre by extension. It was great. It was a great
Yes.
experience.
Very well. And of course, again, big up Vin Alexander. She has been doing a marvelous job. And I want to tell you, Vin, if you're listening this afternoon, to just continue, doing what you love. Definitely, we can attest that you're doing this not just for yourself, but it is because that it lies in you. It just lives within you. Sorry, it lives within you.
Yeah.
This is something that you love, and so I want to encourage you to just keep on doing what you do, and of course, in the long run, you will reap even more rewards and benefits.
Yeah.
And yes, Ferrya. So going back to our Wallabag, just give us some more details as to the upcoming games and what to expect, what food, because we like the food. What vibe should we expect?
Okay. So for the upcoming games, well, last week Sunday we actually wanted to have a female tournament, not a tournament, but a competition.
Right.
We had 4 teams coming to play. Black Panthers involved again, and Barons Drive was Black Panthers, Barons Drive, bigger girls. And yes, bigger
Sure.
bigger. Let me tell you, bigger have girls and boys for all sporting activities. Biggest place. Y'all have to always come at biggest place on the weekend. It's a vibe. If you see don't have no vibe, create your vibe. He's always supportive.
It's
He's
really
supported us throughout. No matter what, last minute, I come, hey fam, yes, no problem. And he always supporting. And they're always yes. So the Wallaba competition, I'm straying, sorry. The Wallaba competition, we wanted to have the females competition last week Sunday and also the last game because it's Lacuan versus Belvedere.
Yeah.
The two teams they haven't won any matches whatsoever.
Yeah.
So if I don't get it wrong because I know Vertilia Stanislas Pascal will be listening to me and probably saying we both she giving wrong information. But we wanted to that's the last game. We were supposed to have it 2 Sundays ago.
Right.
However, it didn't take place. So biggest boys they through the finals. Black Panthers would be playing for third place.
Oh.
Yes. But then we waiting on the results for Lacuan boys and Belvedere boys. If Belvedere boys won one.
Okay.
So if Belvedere boys win, then they will go to finals with bigger boys.
Yes.
And Lacuan will be playing for third place with Black Panthers.
Yeah.
However, if Lacuan wins now, then you have all three Black Panthers, Belvedere boys, and Lacuan boys having threes. And I think we've made a decision that we'll be going. Let me get the term right. Run rates or net run rates NRR. Yeah, there you go. I think I think I got it right. Yes, we'll go through that system because if not, then we have to go through a whole round robin. It take a longer period and everything. And what if they win again and this score? So we just go in the net run rates. For us to decide who's going to advance with finals. But we're looking forward to be having the females, but I'm not too certain if we're going to have it this Sunday because there's a boat ride. And some females are going to the boat ride. They buy the ticket for already.
Okay.
So yes, if not, then we're going to have. We've discussed. No, not we've. I have to bring it to them. But I had a discussion with a cricket lover and Alvon again, who discussed with me why not have the young boys and girls put a team together to just have a mini competition with them while Lacuan and Belvedere play, and the following Sunday we can have the females where everybody is will be available. Yeah, so we're trying our best to have. Let's pray for Sun to have the competition this Sunday and the following Sunday to have finals. Yes.
Great job. And of course, we know there is going to be a vibe. So we know for sure there's always a DJ in the house. And we know there's always eats and drinks on sale. So we're asking persons again to just come out and support the vibe. If you're just home, school is opening in like 1 week. So that's the last chance you have to come out with your baby girls and your baby boys, and the whole family can come out. Let's do a whole family day. Come out and watch the teams, just have some fun. You two just meet new people, mingle. And we all can just have a great time. So, of course, I'm hoping and I'm praying we all will be down on our knees Saturday evening, ensuring that there is sun on Sunday.
Yes.
Because nobody wants the rain to be messing it up for us again. And yes, Ferrya, so that's Walaba for now. I want to take a moment. I see your friend Kurt is in the chat. And he said, Ferrya, big up you. So I want to just big up you, Kurt. Of course, Ferrya always speaks highly of you, very supportive of her as her male friend. So, of course, it is nice that you are here in the chat showing your love.
Let me see. Big up Jaleesa. Oh my goodness, yes. Big up Jaleesa. One of my very, very, we go way back, close friends, always supportive. Amelia Vernell Bertin, full name. My preschool best friend. I need to say big up everyone who has supported me. I cannot single everyone out, but just big up everyone. Thanks.
Yes. And of course, that is okay, Ferrya. Feel free to big up because, of course, you might not know.
Big up Ibambus.
Same,
I am
same speed.
I am what?
Oh yes, and just to point out, she bigged up Ibambu Creations. Let me tell you, she bigged up Ibambu Creations. You don't think it's just so, and he's the whole manager of Ibambu Creations. Let
Yes.
me tell you. But
Yes.
but yes, getting back to our whole youth development and stuff. So before I jump back to you, because there is a question I missed out on. Are there any activities that we should be looking out for after the Walaba competition that your executives have decided on?
Yes, we do have a calendar of activities, and one of our activities we plan on doing. One of the activities we plan on doing, we wanted to have a survey, Lord Jesus, census, a youth census in Force Jacques, just to get a feel and data, information, sorry, about the young persons and their talents. Because you find when you get opportunities, you get last minute opportunities, or even for youth awards ceremonies, you find that there are so many young entrepreneurs. You have sportsmen and women, you have artists, you have singers, dancers. Every field we feel it in, I swear. Go for Jacques, we have the talent. And when we have these activities, we need to know what the individuals are doing, and we need to submit their names. And even for our personal gain, to know our strengths in our community, we plan on doing that. We also we plan on having a football competition within the community. They call it an in-house competition. We plan on having that activity. Because of the Walaba, it's been pushed back because we actually plan on having it the last Sunday in August. However, we need to go back to our drawing board and
Yes.
reschedule that activity. And we choose it on the 12th. Hopefully, we can have a seniors competition within the community again, and all of these activities just to build the community to have a team or have names. So when we the competition, when we are fully licensed in football, that we know our teams, we know our strengths, and what we're supposed to work towards.
Yes.
And we participated again. Thank you so very much, Alexia Alcindor, the president of the Super Football League, who had invited the non-licensed, clubs to participate in it. It was a struggle in the beginning to get names, but the children like sports so much. The first day, I literally told six. Next day, I had 20 children on the field.
Well,
20 young men on the field ready to play. And we had females that actually, right now, Kaylee and Kayla always asking me, Mon Louis, they are netballers, they're always asking, when can we play football? So it's creating the opportunity. The drive is there, the passion is there for them. It's just creating the opportunity for them.
Right.
And that's why I feed on that energy. If you have to force people to participate in these things, you'll be drained. But if you're getting them coming to you, miss, I'm not even a teacher, but miss. Yes. Miss we want, yes. So she invited us, the league invited us, and we were not as strong as the other teams who have been training, but to the end, you would see Miss Eugene, you were present. They felt like champions because they scored.
Yeah.
They won two,
Yeah.
I think 2 games, if my memory serves me right. And yeah, we even battled against, I need to say thank you to Challengers FC Football Club. When we were not licensed, they took some of our footballers, not took, but they asked for permission
mentioned-
through the school. They went through the whole process, and countless Saturdays from since 2016, I think, Parker, oh my goodness, Liam Francis and you, Paul, sorry, have been coming to Force Jacques and training these kids. And people will see the Force Jacques players on Challengers team and they say, Kimanyev's Challengers name. But if we were not organized and you get that opportunity for people who did not have who didn't have these sportsmen, right? The young persons, they're in a club and they wanted people. Wouldn't you, as someone who has sports as passion, wouldn't you tell them, come and take my children, have them on loan, train them, and when we are licensed, then no problem. Transferring if they want or not, they'll come back to us, and that's what we did. We did that. So we have actually during that competition, we had Force Jacques versus Force Jacques. People will say when challengers and Force Jacques had to play, and it was very funny because it's nice to see the battle for who's going to win. And next day you heard, oh, how we giving you 20, miss 20. Oh, Dimari had my life. Dimari and Liam, they, oh, miss, I giving you 20. Next day you crying, miss. I wiping the smile off your face with 20 goals. Yes. I thrive on that, like I say, yeah. But yes, we have other activities coming up. We also want to have an activity to celebrate Jeune Creole in October. So we're looking to have a bonfire activity
Okay,
with
nice.
storytelling and no, my executive, I'm not putting our plans out for people to take it. I'm just saying what we're having.
You don't have to list it
Yes,
all, but
yeah, I'm just saying a few that I
Yeah.
actually can get at the top of my head. Yes, to have storytelling, and we have a drama group in Forte Jacques,
Yes.
the Sensations,
Yes.
and also the president is actually on our executive, and she wants to. The exposure will be great, so they'll come with their drums and have this whole taboo melee thing in Force Jacques.
Nice.
Yes, we have all of that is in the works, and we hopefully we're going to execute it.
And very well. Of course, you guys are well on your way. Thank you so much for having an organized
And all of that with the help of
calendar.
the Force Jacques Development Committee.
Of course. So big
A
up.
paid announcement, huh?
Yeah. So big up the Forces Jack Development Committee as well. Of course, it's nice to see that all of you are just working together to ensure that the community is where it is supposed to be. And of course, Ferrya, knowing that you mentioned of trying to put together the under 12, I believe, football stuff and everything. Um, two, knowing that you had to loan your kids and get them back and all of this, how do you wish to, as you move forward, to do your recruiting for new members?
Recruiting of new members. It's simple in Force Jacques. I will boast my chest out. Getting sportsmen to fill in sports, like actually get them within the range. We go to the schools, we go to the homes, and we will get young boys and girls, men, women to fill in the sports.
Okay.
That's just it. Like they literally, I see the talent in them, and then I'm just okay. One day I sat at my home and I'm like, looking at it, every boy, girl, man, woman in Force Jacques, like it's just in their genes, in their blood, just running. Like they have it in them. It can be raw talent, but then from time you have it as being raw, you just mold it and get the proper coaching, get the proper gears, the resources, everything that we need to make it better. But they have it there. So recruiting is very easy.
Okay, nice.
Recruiting is very easy.
And that is excellent. I mean, it is nice to see that the small community of Force Jack is so together. And
We larger, we have 8 sub communities, my girl. Small is not the word, but okay.
but it is nice to see that everyone is just always involved in everything and is always willing to contribute in some way. So again, kudos to everyone who is from the community of Fort St. Jacques, whether it be Mini, Mocha, you name it, behind the river.
Hello, excuse
I don't
me.
know.
Pause. Let us start. We have Mini, Belvedere, Seabook, St. Philip, Mocha, Les Perrin. Okay, Boaden, Ravinclay. Hold it there.
Hey, thank you.
We
and
don't get the river.
I stand corrected.
Please.
I stand corrected. Hello. Right there. Don't forget that. But thank you so much for
Yeah.
that. Let me tell you, I'm not good with the names. Somebody would ask me, and then I didn't even know they had a Belvedere.
Well, now you know.
Yes, I didn't know. I know they have Belvedere countries. I didn't know they had
Michael,
Belvedere
we
for
have
the Jack
Belvedere.
Pal.
Yes, Michael.
Even for the Wallaby, someone was like, Belvedere? I'm like, I don't know. But of course, I stand
Yes,
corrected.
yes.
Thank you for that. There again, people they don't have behind the river. Okay. Now, of course, we have touched on your club and everything, and I know in earlier during the year we had a few crime incidents from our community of Jacques, very much unfortunate situations. And yes, we would have known some of these individuals and know their backgrounds and so on. Moving forward, has your club, your executive sat and just try to see how you could put together a strategy as to how to move forward with these persons that we consider as unattached youth, those of them on the block, basically.
Well, I can say that'll be redundant, but personally, I will say that the block is actually part of our family in Force Jacques. Meaning that the people on the block are actually involved in sports, right? They're involved somewhere in the community. So we sitting here and planning activities, they will be involved.
Right.
We will get them involved because, like I said, with the census, we're trying to, and everybody knows everybody in Force Jacques. That's the beauty of living and growing up in Force Jacques.
Yep.
The only the if you somebody new comes in, I actually asking people, who are you? Who are your family members? Because I need to know who's in my community, just so you know. But everybody knows everyone in Force Jacques. So if for the crime, unfortunately, like you said, it happened, right? And that's why I one of the reasons why I'm involved in youth development or even community development is to give them an opportunity, a way out of the thinking. I want it to change, but to not to improve. I like the word improve. Because when you tell somebody change, like why you want to change me?
Yeah.
To improve on what they already know. Because those same boys on the block, sometimes you have females on the block too. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Those same individuals on the block, if given the fair opportunity, you'll see that they actually contribute a lot.
Right.
They know a lot. And you can even use them as security guards for the community. Because I guarantee you, by the time they see one person coming in, hey, KSC that, whatever, they speaking to you on, they actually make you. So we actually plan to have block activities.
Nice.
Why not sit down, go on the block, ask them first if we can come on the block, first of
Yeah.
all, and have a cookout. We have break dancers on the block. We have artists on the block. Everything's literally start from the block, and people don't see that. And I remember sitting on an activity in Castries, and I was trying to tell them, we young persons or young leaders struggle to get these youth off the block, or not even off the block, but from the block to get be involved. We actually need to ask those ringleaders, how do they do it? And they laugh. You know, I tell them I actually want to sit down with a gangster. They laugh. I said, why you laughing? No, it sounds funny. But if they can actually pull these young people so easily,
Right.
and we're struggling, we need to actually ask them how they're doing it.
Right.
You understand? And there's a reason why people are on the block.
I love that.
It is
thinking.
family.
Right.
They feel like family, and everybody wants to feel like they're part of something.
Right.
And if society is literally beating me down, even me as a young leader, beating me down, how else? How would they feel? Why would I turn to y'all and beg? Like as if not, I'm not saying they're begging, but I'm just saying trying to think of how they're thinking. If you come and you tell them, okay, we're cutting these trees down, we're burning down where you are, whatever, you're creating a problem there. Because you haven't even tried to say why are they there. You're breaking down a family. It might look to you as, you probably they're doing bad things, they're stealing, they whatever. But everybody has a story to tell.
Thank you.
And I'm always saying that.
And I
And I'm
support that,
actually
yeah.
more attracted to young, troublesome young boys than the
Me
smarter
too.
ones.
That
Because
is true.
they have a story to tell.
Very true.
They do. And when you sit down, and they literally are the most loving and helpful young people that you can find. As rude as some may be, God bless their souls. But
Yeah.
they grow up with that. And then I was actually a preschool teacher at Kids World, Teacher Leads. And I actually researched that during that time. And then you learn that from the age of 0 to 5, 90% of what you learn for your lifetime is at that time. And you find that these individuals come from backgrounds that are not what society look as the best,
Right.
and they learn all these things. It's embedded in them, and then you come in, then you get in that kind of fight with society. Where else should they turn? Not to the block.
Yeah.
I want
And
to sit on the block one day because it's looking nice. Eh?
let
Let
me
me
tell
tell you.
you. No, it's the way that was so in sync, huh? Let me tell you. On a, like being very honest, I totally agree with everything that you see. And a lot of persons find me crazy when I speak highly of persons on the block, thinking like maybe, especially when you speak to older persons about hey, the guys on the block, they see you as who do we just show so play ali boss but it's really not like that. I have learned to connect with these young men. Why? Yeah. Now, even at school, right? And, I served as senior prefect and head prefect. So I had no choice but to take my time to connect with everyone. And for some reason, at FCSS, 1A4, you would usually find the students who don't perform the best, and they're usually the most troublesome set of students. And I used to spend like most of my time in that classroom. Why? Because I don't know, these boys just made me feel so good. Like they had a whole different vibe to them. And it was like they knew what they were doing and why they were doing it. And that's why when you said everybody has a story, I totally agree. Because it's like they would tell me, garçon, because I used to be cool with them. Don't call me miss. Because there are some of them who respected me and they still call me miss, even though they like today on the road. I'm like, I'm same age with you, no need for that. But you know, it's like all of them were just so nice and receiving basically. And
They're
that is
welcoming.
why too
They're welcoming.
I never took time while you see other prefects would have said, I'm going to write you down to go to the I didn't have time for that. And that is something too that I will always cherish because there is this specific young man, big up Jarrell, straight out of Palmis. Every time I think my heart falls in love with him. I'll put it that way because he's always like, Gasa, you see you. If I was listening to you, you don't make me get my first suspension. But the thing with him, he understood that I gave him so many chances. I understood where he was coming from, and that is something I believe in our education system. Teachers don't have the patience. Straight.
I'll have I beg to differ.
You
But
can beg to
continue.
differ.
My
There are
mom was a
teachers-
teacher for many years, kindergarten for
Sorry.
40 something years, Michael. Continue.
You can beg to differ, but there are teachers who
Yes, that
don't.
is true.
They are not patient, especially with students like that. I always say you need to try to understand the kind of homes that these students come from. Why do they act like that? Why did they did that today and tomorrow they're so calm?
For
They-
some people, it takes too much to do that. Like I come to
Then
do
that's
my
not the job
8-hour
for you.
job, but they have to actually teaching is something that actually you have to is a service you give it.
yeah, it's
You
supposed
can
to
never
be a
get paid
combination.
fully paid
Mhm.
for you being a teacher. And I learned that because, like I said, my mom has been a teacher for 40 something years.
Yeah.
And people will see me speaking, you must be a teacher that discipline. I believe in discipline. And my mother, if everybody in Forces Jacques, she thought, Madam Salah, apoy go to bat. Madam Salah, this. And then up to now, they have adults that tell my mother, si mete could tell, le me petit petit. Matika a diogo sa, ou matika situation sa, mwe à présent. And I'm like, wow, like just, I was a teacher for a few months, 6 months, I believe. And I coached netball at the Forces Jacques Primary for 2 terms. And the miss, and you have to, it's a lot of patience. It's a lot. And yes, but back to the boys on the block, and you said they give them so many terms, Lord Jesus, but they're human beings, huh?
Yes.
They, and I find like they're there because there is something that is keeping all of them
Yeah.
there together, and no one wants to go there. Recently, that same activity, someone was saying that Bruceville, how many times the councils go to Bruceville, or how
Everybody's
many times do they
afraid.
come
Everybody's
to
afraid.
Marshall? But when you go there, it's a fete, it's a session. You feel so welcome. Growing up, you always hear of Quillas. My family is from Quillas, and I'm proud. Let me
Yeah.
tell you. And when you go there, that's a whole country there by itself.
Yeah.
And they have different places where people will actually be, that person that they have bad connotations towards these people and they have bad vibes and energy, or because of what they hear and everything. but you feeling safe when you go there. Even if crime happens there, you still feeling safe because they will not just let it go or see somebody coming there or something happening and not look for you. Everyone is family, and that's the kind of vibe we need.
Yes.
Yes.
And of course, I want, in a nutshell, I just want us to remember that our community is our community. Yeah. So we need to be our brothers' keepers.
Take ownership of it.
And everyone involved in youth development, involved in community development, no matter what your capacity is, but you're helping in some area, you need to remember that, hey, I need to do this wholeheartedly. There is nothing to be afraid of. You need to connect. I'm so tired of seeing persons who try to claim, like, they for the community, but have you really connected with your community? No.
Do you even
you
know
go
what-
based on
There
what
you go.
you know, but you don't really know, like, know
Have you
what
gotten
is
to know the people?
the real stuff.
You have to be with them to know what they actually are, who they actually are, what they stand for.
Exactly. And this is why, again, too, you don't see me having these kind of discussions with anybody, because this is something that, to me, I have it at my heart. You see, when it comes to community, young persons, and people will tell you that. And big up Alexia Alcindor. She's someone who always reminds me, girl, I love you. Because when I have to stand and speak, I do so and I don't worry about what others say. Because too many times I hate the hypocrisy of persons just making it seem like, hey, I'm doing this, and but is it working? So again, as we go out in our community of Soufre, let me tell you, Soufre has so much talent. Straight out of Fort Jacques, we have Ferrya, we have Vern, we have what's his name,
Lorena.
Jade, we have Lorena.
We have Marissa Calix, we have Mia Pizza, we have Nia Pizza, we have
So many.
Bertilia Stanislas Pascal,
We have so
Naomi
many.
Prosper, we have Monique Prosper, we have so many people. I just wish, we have Colicia Joseph, we have the Joseph brothers who run and they can play basketball and all of that.
Yeah.
We have so many people. Yoshabel Emmanuel, a volleyball player, we hear nothing of
Yeah.
about, but then she is representing St. Lucia.
Right.
We have cricketers, we have basketballers, we have netballers. And the thing is, people, like she said, take ownership of our community.
Yeah.
Don't be biting the backs of our own people and expect fairness when we go and represent our community someplace else. You'll not get it. And I am a living testament that you will not get the fairness. If the fairness is not from your community, you will not get the fairness.
Now, with that fairness, I am ending this afternoon session with a whole suggestion for the people who needs to hate will hate. Because let me tell you, one thing about me, I love you voices son, because I can say what I want on my show because it's my show. So I know you listening. You will
Okay,
take
Rick
it
Wayne,
in.
it is
Yeah.
my show.
Now, to the persons, I'm speaking nicely now, to the persons who are responsible for even supporting young persons and ensuring that everything goes through. I'm talking to you all in the top area there, in the house, in the Tutkalte guy.
Yeah.
I believe to fair young persons have the potential, and me speaking to Ferrya, mind you, Ferrya is my friend. But first time I see Ferrya talk like real proper, most times in a papi show.
I take no offense. Let the world know.
So just taking a look at Ferrya, and she has given us so many ideas as to how we could move forward in our communities. I'm seeing most of these plans that you have painted out for St. Jacques could actually work in our community or Soufre.
it can.
Try and rally up our young persons. Have our own little youth parliament in Soufre,
Indeed.
where we meet maybe twice a month or once a month, maybe twice might be too much, and build a proper plan. Too many times we target the wrong persons.
Yeah.
Straight. We target the wrong person. So, of course, that's just a little idea as I'm about to end the show this afternoon. I'm hoping that we all could just come together, work together, ensuring that our community is developed, our young persons are developed and more eligible for opportunities, and we are no longer country bookies. We are no longer going to be considered as country bookies because we have so much talent in our community. So, of course, as we go out, let's represent well, guys. We have been doing great. Big up to Jacques,
Mhm.
big up to Javille, to Jacques, to Japalmis. You name it, let me tell you. To Jabelfont, to Jabouton, these are the places that go unnoticed, but we have talented persons there as well. Yes. So, of course, Miss Simon, you just brought that whole vibe in today, and I love it.
I'll send you my invoice.
I love it. I love it. And I want to say a big thank you to you for just joining us this afternoon on You Voices. But just before you leave, any final words to our listeners?
Yes, I have so many finals, but let me sum it up. First of all, we spoke. I came here in the capacity of Foster Jacques and Sports Club's president, but let me just echo who the executive members are and say big up to all of them. We have the vice president, Yoshabel Emmanuel, secretary Nicole Harrell. We have our treasurer, Lorena Nicholas, who we all know her as Lori Pops. We have our PRO, Sansha Childmine, assistant treasurer. We have Willianis Molui, our trustees, Cyril William, and why am I forgetting now my last trustee, Lord Jesus Christ of my soul? We have OMG. That's sad. That is sad. Okay. Anyway, we have two trustees right now.
Yeah.
And I cannot remember. Not that it's not important. Hold on. Vertilia Stanislas
no, she would have
Pascal.
definitely taken your neck for this
Oh
one.
my global. I see her as an advisor, more like a mother figure. Yeah, so because all of us, and we also part of the Fosijac Development Committee. But here is the floor rep. Our trustee is Lencia Maffrey, a worker of SRDF. Yes. But advice that I can give is be the best you that you can be. Youth work is not easy. It's not going to be an easy road, believe me.
Right.
You have a passion for it and just keep reminding yourself why. Why you're doing what you're doing. And as the young individual, Marissa Calix always tell me, take up space. We youth have a voice.
Right.
We cannot depend on NYC in Castries to do it for us. We cannot really depend on the 8th executive or Super Fund Sports Council to do it for us because there is so much going on.
Right.
We cannot depend on myself, Ferrya Simon, to do it for all of us. If you have something to say, you say it. You say it and you say it boldly. Even if it's broken English, you say it in patois, you say it in Spanish. But speak up. That's what we need to do. We need to speak up and make a difference. Because at the end of the day, change begins with us.
Right.
Okay? And always believe that I can. Even when I was going to give up, I had to tell myself I can. Because if I don't do it for myself, who will? Okay? So thank you so very much, everyone who supported me, who is still supporting me, and who big up who don't support me. Like
Without you.
Without you, where am I?
Yes. And
Yes.
of course.
And thank you so very much, Miss Eugene, for the invite, even if I'm going to invoice you after.
Not a
But that's
problem.
okay.
Not a problem. And of course, I am just so happy that Ferrya was able to come in and have such a great time. You know, all of your nerves are gone. Praise the Lord for that. So I know on the invoice you could put for drinks, some extra drinks, bigger. We can go there. And of course, straight out of Fort St. Jacques, we have Ferrya Simon. And last week we had Sasha. And we just keep on getting more talent coming out of this community. So stay tuned, of course. There will be more coming on. And yes, it's always a great time when we are tuned in to you voices. So, of course, again, I am your host, Miss Edisa Eugene, and see you next week for another episode.
Bye.
Welcome to Youth Voices with your host, Miss Edisa Eugene, where we focus on youth advocacy, youth empowerment in academics, entrepreneurship, sports, marginalized youth, and more. Tune in every Thursday from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Youth Month 2022. Devant ensemble et toute jeunesse. Evolve. Growing youth for an inclusive and transformed society. Are you ready?
When I look at where I'm coming from, I know